A child of the immortals offers fire to the immortals. O blessed Hestia, mistress of fire and light, flesh of my soul, bring into my home your divine fire. Let this house partake of your wisdom, love, and power. O blessed Hestia, be welcome in my home. Alright, as many of you may know, I have been doing a video for each chapter of On the Gods in the World by Celestius. That playlist is on the screen somewhere up above, if you're interested in watching those. Some of you may remember me talking about a new translation of this text that has recently been published. This is titled On the Gods in the Kosmos, and it's translated by Monte Plaisance. You can find this book on Amazon, which I will include a link to in the description below. If you want to know more about who Monte Plaisance is, there is an interview that I will be posting soon where I interview him about another book that he is working on. Depending on when I finish this video, it may have already been released. If it is, or when it is, I will link to that video on the screen here. Now, I believe the last translation of Celestius's work was done by Thomas Taylor in the year 1793. That would be this one here. This is still in print, and it can be found on Amazon as well, but this isn't the one I'm here to talk about today. But I will be comparing Monte's translation, which is this one, to the Thomas Taylor translation throughout this video. Now, before I go into what's inside the book, I want to explain why this book is or should be important to any Hellenist. This is a complete, however small, but intact work from the time of the reign of Emperor Julian the Apostate. This text has the ability to serve as a catechism for those wishing to practice Hellenic paganism. This entire text was written and survived in a time in history where Christianity threatened all who worshiped the gods. It was written for the common people of the day and has become required reading for the Church of Thessaly today. Although the text is small, there is still a lot that is left for the student to contemplate and reflect upon. Now moving on. This is Monte Plaisance's translation, titled On the Gods in the Cosmos. One of the first things to take note of is that the Thomas Taylor translation is about 50 pages. Where Monte's translation is 108 pages. This is because Monte did not just stop at translation, but he gives the original Greek, which in comparison takes up very little space. He then goes on to give his translation, but the truly essential part of this text is the analysis he gives and the insights to the translation. So really, Monte doubled the length of the text by breaking it down in a way that is easier to understand for the modern reader. Now, Thomas Taylor translated the text into 21 chapters, and I found that some of the topics seemed to be jumbled. Monte took the text and broke it into 32 propositions rather than chapters, which begins with the original Greek, the translation, and followed by his own interpretation. As you can see, I have each proposition marked in my copy to help me find them, since they don't start on a new page, but rather they are one after the other. This goes to show even further how much has been added to this work. So with all that said, if you were looking for an introductory book to a more philosophical guide to Hellenism, this is the book for you. There are a lot of books out there that give instructions on how to pray, examples of prayers, and other aspects of the religion, but none of them cover the complex topics found within this work. Again, this is not a modern view of ancient beliefs, but rather it is a translation of an ancient text and views from an ancient practitioner of Hellenism within the ancient world, directed to the common people, acting as a catechism to bring people back to the worship of the gods. I truly believe that this work does not get the credit it truly deserves. So before I end this video, I wanted to show an example of what some of the propositions cover within this book. So, detailed explanation of the myths and why they are divine. Also, how to view the myths. The first cause, where everything began. Why the soul is immortal. Different aspects of the soul. The origin and nature of evil. And even reincarnation. A lot of these conversations and topics that are covered within this book are the same topics and conversations that come up when we are approached and questioned by Christianity. So I'm going to stop here, but I highly recommend anyone interested in or practicing Hellenic paganism get a copy of this work. You can't go wrong with it. So until next time.